It feels like just yesterday I was entering what we called the computer room after a day in elementary or middle school to log on to AOL Instant Messenger and chat with whoever was online. Or should I say, I am them. Why do we keep evolving the term for instant messaging anyway? We now say DM if it's in your Instagram inbox, texting if it's SMS or iMessage, and they message me if it's through a dating app or something. What happened to the term IM, apart from being in the acronym AIM? And where did AIM even come from? Let's take it back to the best era of the internet, AIM. AOL Instant Messenger was introduced in 1997 after going through some trouble with AOL not wanting to develop a messaging platform, but engineers fought for it to be made, and it quickly became the world's most popular messaging app at the time, completely changing the way we communicated in the new century. This was a time before cell phones, before text messaging, and way faster than sending an email. Alright, enough of the computer. I gotta check my email.
But Dad, I'm IMing my friends!
Although even when the text message era started, AIM was still the free alternative because back in the day, text messaging would cost you like 10 cents per message, and weird things that seem so foreign to today. So obviously, AIM reigned supreme because it was so simple, effective, and free. There were no AIM influencers, no advertisements really from what I can remember, no brand deals, and no money to make on AIM. We were all just on there to have a good time and talk to your friends. And even strangers, which we'll get into. AIM, sadly, was discontinued in 2017, 20 years after the launch. Like, instead of iMessage, can we still have a platform such as AIM where we can put away messages on and no one can bother us? We're a little too available right now. I mean, AIM could have totally evolved into something else. Instead of Microsoft Teams, I'd prefer AIM to talk to coworkers nowadays. Wouldn't that keep us millennials a little happier at work? Or actually, it would probably sour our memories of it, so you know what, never mind. I mean, we got really far with AIM. In 2008, we got an iOS app. In 2010, AIM came to iPad and Mac apps. And one can argue that AIM shaped social media culture today. The whole interculture of AIM was instead dispersed to a ton of different apps we have now, such as Facebook and Instagram and Omegle, or RIP actually, or even Twitter, RIP too. Why are all these social media apps dying? And when can Instagram? While AIM ended, it was a complete game changer and paved the way for the future of the internet. Let's go over some things we must never forget about. AIM culture was incredibly unique for the times. For us millennials, it was really our first touch point to enjoying the internet before a time we became too dependent on it. The internet was more of a luxury than a necessity. And AIM taught us everything we needed to know. If you weren't rushing to the computer after school to talk to your classmates and friends, what were you doing? Like, you know, back in a day, boomers would say, go outside and ride a bike and get off the computer. In comparison to today, we really weren't. Now us millennials are like, kids, get off your phones and iPads. Trust me. You'll have the rest of your life to rot in bed addicted to them. I promise. I mean, at least we were talking to our friends on the internet instead of mindlessly scrolling Instagram and TikTok and stalking people. And you know what? I feel sorry for kids today not getting to experience the AIM era. Because here's how it went down. You'd have a unique screen name that no one else could have. We call those usernames now, I guess. And screen names were often pretty juvenile and cringy looking back. In 3rd grade, my username was Basketball Sponge because I played basketball and liked SpongeBob.
You must really like like me.
I mean, makes sense, right? We weren't trying to be too witty back in the day. It was as simple as liking something like a ham and cheese sandwich and making your screen name Ham and Cheese 1993 just because you liked ham and cheese. And literally, no one would question you. We were ahead of the times. We would often change our screen names though, whenever we got sick of them. Or even would have two and log on to both at the same time for whatever reason. My next screen name, I think, was American Sponge because I was American and like SpongeBob. God, I really idolized SpongeBob back then. Long live SpongeBob. And along with your screen name came your buddy list on the side of your computer screen. And hearing the door open and close when your friends would log on and off. It was pure serotonin, especially if your crush logged on. And you'd set an alert so AIM would give you a sound when they logged on, and you get butterflies immediately. You'd also categorize your buddy list into different categories for some reason. Like, here are my top BFFs I talk to. Here's my family. Randos I met in chat rooms. Here's frenemies. Here's people I'm currently fighting with. Here's the band geeks. No one else could see this list though, so it was private. Had to step away for a moment though? No problem. Set an away message, which traditionally meant you were logged on, but not at your computer right now. And it was pretty much an online voicemail, so when a friend would IM you, they'd automatically get your away message as a response. Seriously, people would make away messages for everything. If you were showering, you'd let your whole buddy list know you were showering, but you'd BRB. Or even the more classic default away message, I am away from the computer right now. Which, as time went on, you kind of just said that ironically, because you got to be over with trying to make something clever, or the casual BRB became boring. I mean, you might even leave BRB on for hours, or even worse, set it as BRB so you didn't have to talk to one person and would just continue talking to others. This is where we learn to be so toxic on social media. People, however, love to be emo on AIM and would often put sappy or emo quotes in their away messages or profiles. He was a skater boy, he said see you later boy. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. IMY 32001. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic?
I want to forgive you, and I want to forget you.
And for the Gen Zers and alphas out there, no, Instagram notes cannot and will never compete. Away messages were also used as bait for crushes and attention seeking. Like, let me think of the best away message I can, either from memory or a song lyric or a quote or a copy paste from the internet, so that I can get your attention. Your AIM profile was your little corner of the internet though at the time. And you could put anything you wanted here, whether it be song lyrics, a website URL, your MySpace profile link, your friends' names, who you would delete some of them when you're in a fight just to show everyone. This was before MySpace top 8 friends, okay? Or even you'd put your school schedule to see who was in your classes for the next year. God, this is all coming back to me now. Don't forget about your buddy icon, which would appear somewhere in your chat box. You could choose from a huge selection of how you wanted to express yourself. And if you got bored of talking to your friends though, don't fear, smarterchild was there to save you. This was the OG AI, which was a chatbot, don't get me wrong. You knew it was a robot, but it was still fun to talk to, especially when you were bored with friends. But it was fun to ask inappropriate questions to or tell it how much you loved it. And smarterchild often had witty responses or somber messages that clarified his existence as a robot. You'd also customize your font, which gave you more of an online personality. I mean, if you changed your font, it would cause a stir with your friends. And they'd literally be like, This doesn't feel like you anymore. Can you please change your font pack? But God forbid you were using Comic Sans. I mean, that's so 5th grade. Acronyms were huge in the AIM era and kind of started it all. And let's be real, you were either a GTG person or a G2G person. Yes, there was a difference, and it did showcase something different about your personality. G2G was a little more tech forward and pretentious to the internet, whereas GTG was a bit more casual, albeit basic. This was also where we were first exposed to writing LOL, which actually I remember there was a debate of what LOL stood for. Was it laugh out loud or was it lots of laughs? It did evolve though to be laugh out loud. I don't know if I'm just imagining that. LOL. You weren't really laughing unless you typed out ha 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 ha, or even more insane. And let's not forget about the classic prank you'd put on your away message or profile, adding a %N that would show anyone who was looking their own screen name, and then blocking people. If you get pissed off talking to someone or they were being an a-hole, you'd easily just block them and it's now signified that you were in a fight. I mean, sure, you could block your friends casually, but a lot of the times, this was used for the good old chat rooms, because when you got bored of talking to your friends or smarterchild, chat rooms was the cure. It was a place where you can virtually interact with anyone from around the world, not just those in your buddy list. Chat rooms with strangers, though, was pretty sketchy. I mean, this was also like our first touch point to communicating with anyone anonymously. Chat rooms were categorized by interests, such as movies, music, cars, or celebrities, or even like tattoos and piercings and stuff. Kind of like the OG Reddit subthreads. Although probably most notably for us young kids back in the day, you'd naively enter cyber sex chat rooms with your friends. Hopefully not alone. And chat rooms is kind of where the term ASL originated from, but let's be real, you'd probably lie to preserve your identity. Creepy old men would probably lie about their own ASL just to talk to younger kids. Okay, let's not really go that deep in this video. I'm starting to get the ick. But really, nothing productive happened in these chat rooms. They were mainly for us to laugh about with our friends when we were bored. We cannot blame AIM for this though. It's still happening to this day, whether it be on Facebook or Reddit or Discord or Craigslist. There's a place to find a chat room for anything on the internet. Aside from chat rooms, AIM actually gave us no reason to talk to people. And that was the best part. Like nowadays, you really only text someone if you have something to say or something to ask them. But back in the day on AIM, you talk about nothing. Was there not also a time where sometimes teachers would share their screen names with you? Am I just making this up now? Maybe I'm just dreaming of this. But like sometimes you would see your teacher log on AIM and you'd all in your group chat be like, oh my god, Mr. Duvall is online. And then you'd be like, hey, doing the homework. I think I'm making this up. I don't think that happened. AIM may have been officially buried in 2017, but probably most of us millennials stopped using it frequently around the 2010s timeframe. Once we started to get acclimated to new media we thought was cooler, such as Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and of course, free text messages, AIM started to slowly disappear from our grasp. Gone are the days when talking to people online was a sit-down event rather than being always on at all times for anyone who wants to reach us. But I think AIM taught us a lot about the internet and how we use it today. I'm proud to have been alive at the dawn of internet culture, where we really got to digest it all and have fun with it before all of the chaos today with out-of-touch social media influencers and platforms where everyone is trying to make it on. AIM truly defined an era which we still subconsciously still bring to modern day life today. We're still saying LOL and LMAO and BRB, but maybe what we're not saying so much anymore is the classic GTG or G2G. Because with the internet now, God, it never ends. Welcome to 2024. Can we please get AIM back? I gotta go. Talk to you later.